Good morning, everybody. This is Practical English 4, Unit 4, Part 2, Take 2, because I completely messed it up last time. So, now I have to do it all again. So, good morning. Hope you are all well and happy. It's just 3 weeks until we go to campus and do our stuff. And we get to meet, which is exciting. Well, it's exciting for me. And then it will be the end of semester, finished, gone. Okay, and then it will be summer, and we can't go anywhere. I'm feeling terrible today about not being able to travel, because I like to travel. I think the furthest I can go is to Jeju Island, and that's going to be my summer vacation, I think. Not unless either Japan or Vietnam or Philippines say that Koreans can visit them without having to be quarantined, because I'm not going somewhere and spending 2 weeks of my vacation quarantined. Right, okay, I can stay in Korea. Right, okay, so what are we going to do today? Of course, check your vocabulary, check your phrases, check for words that you don't know the meaning of, because you need to understand 80% of the content of a sentence to understand it. So you're going to struggle if you don't check the words that you don't know. And it only takes a couple of seconds. Right, okay. So today we are still on giving information. We're on part 2, which is going to be the final part, and we are then going to go on to Unit 5. So, giving information, indirect, embedded, or confirmation questions. Confirmation test questions are also known as tag questions. Okay? Oh, yes, they are. So I suggest what you do is you pause this and look in your grammar books or online and find out what indirect, embedded, or confirmation questions are. Okay? Because it is for you to find out. Okay? I know. It's terrible. Right. So press pause and have a look what these are. Okay? Indirect, embedded, or confirmation stroke type questions. Get them checked. Okay, so let's start again on this slide. So we have, of course, in the English language, nothing is simple. And so we have indirect, embedded, or confirmation questions. So it says that some questions are simple and clear, but others may not be. Remember to focus on the information the person wants, even if you don't understand the question fully. So even though they might be talking and you can pick up on a key word maybe, okay, and then understand what they are talking about. So, what do the following questions mean? Yes. Number 1, can I ask the location of the conference? Yes, you can ask the location of the conference, is what I would say, but that's not what they mean, okay? So, what is it that they mean? Do they mean when is the conference happening? Or do they mean where is the conference? Or do they mean see what is the cost of a conference ticket? Of course, it is B. Yes, it is. It's B. You won't know the slide before, but I actually got the answer wrong. Right, where is the conference? So, number 2, would you be able to let me know where to find John? Yeah, I can let you know where John is, yeah. So, where does John live? Can you find John? Where is John now? What does that question mean? Where does John live? Can you find John? Where is John now? It means, of course, number 2 is C. Where is John now? Number 3, as I understand it, we will be meeting today. Is that still happening? So, what does that question mean? As I understand it, we will be meeting today. Is that still happening? It means A, will we meet today? B, can you explain the meeting? C, can you send me an email about the meeting? And of course, number 3 is A. Of course, it's A. And number 4, you wouldn't happen to know the date of the workshop, would you? Okay, you wouldn't happen to know the date of the workshop, would you? If somebody says that to you, what are they really saying? Which day is the workshop? Is there a workshop tomorrow? Is there a workshop happening soon? And I can tell you that A is the answer. Oh, yes, I can. It's 4A. Okay, and number 5. I don't think I can make it before 7 p.m. What am I going to miss? So, does the question mean, does it finish at 7 p.m.? Does the question mean, is it okay if I am late? Or is it see what is happening before 7 p.m.? And what's the answer? Tell me. It is B, of course. It's B. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, this is take 3. Giving information. Read the schedule below and then match the questions to their appropriate answers. Some questions will ask in a direct yes or no, true or false way. Others are more open-ended. Okay, so here we have, let's have a look. We have a schedule. Yeah, this is a schedule. And here are examples of questions. Okay, so what you need to do is be able to hear the questions and be able to understand what the information is that the person is asking for. So here, examples of yes and no. Yes and no questions. Could you tell me what time Jason is giving his talk? Okay. Yes, I can. Okay, Jason is giving his talk at 11:30. Yes. B. I was wondering if you could tell me who will be presenting on technology in the classroom. Okay, so who's going to be presenting technology in the classroom? And it is going to be Lindsay Palmer at 11 a.m. C. Do you know what the first seminar after lunch will be about? Yes, I do. After the lunch, it will be concept checking by Roseanne Keane. And D. Can you tell me if lunch will be provided at the seminar? Yes, it will be. So then examples of true or false questions. Okay, so are they true or are they false? I heard that the first seminar is about engaging students well. Is that right? No, it's false, isn't it? The first class is Technology in the Classroom with Lindsay Palmer. F. The seminars will be held in the main auditorium on the 7th. Can you confirm that? Well, it says here that it will be February the 8th. So, this is false, of course. Yes, it is false. And then, do you know what's the first seminar after lunch will be about? Yes, I do. Do you know what the first seminar after lunch will be about? After lunch, it will be what? Concept checking with Roseanne Keane. Number 4, can you tell me if lunch will be provided at the seminar? If you've ever been at a seminar or been to a meeting, lunch is always the most important question. Okay, that's the question everybody asks. When is lunch? Where is lunch? and what is for lunch. Okay, you need to have them 3 answers very clear. So, so is it true? Bringing lessons to purpose? No, it won't. Okay, so it's false. It's yes. It's 2 o'clock is scaffolding with Stephen Ruber. And H, the seminars will be in English, won't they? Yes. Yes, there will be. It says here at the bottom, presentations will be in English. Okay, so if you have any plans on going to a seminar that is not Korean, I would suggest it will probably be in English, especially if it's an international one. Okay, right, let's go on to the next slide. So, still on page 49, we are onto something new. Now this says expressions for buying time, finding information and organizing responses. So sometimes, like on the last page, people will ask you questions and you don't know the information exactly right then, right now. Okay, so you need to be able to find the information for them, but of course they want the information now. Okay, so the thing that you can say is, I will just check that. I'll need to check on that for you. Okay, or let's see what it says here. Looking through the information, I'll just need a moment to find that. This will only take a moment. I'll have that information for you in just a second. I should have that right in front of me. Let me find that for you. Now, that is letting the person know that you're not ignoring them, okay? And that you are looking for the information, okay? So you should really say quite cheerful too. So I'll need to check on that for you and say it with a smile. Let's see what it says here. Looking through the information. I'll just need a moment to find that for you. This will only take a moment. I'll have that information for you in just a second. I should have that right in front of me. Let me find that for you. Okay? Say it with a smile. Okay? People will be easier to deal with if you say it with a smile. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay. Listen and answer the questions from your partner. Okay, so you can do this in Zoom. Uh, uh, you can do this on Zoom. Okay, you don't need to do this. Okay, let's practice yes, no, or true or false questions. Now, if you remember, um, true or false questions, or yes and no questions, okay, they were indirect, okay. So, for example, at 1 p.m. at the airport, pick up by taxi, okay. Um, Depends what they want, I guess. So, if they want a ride to the airport at 1 p.m., pick up by taxi, uh, you would say, uh, is it possible for you to get me a taxi at for the airport to get me there by 1 p.m., assuming that they want to be there at 1 p.m. It's not very clear. But I'm guessing they want to be there at 1 p.m. rather than be picked up at 1 p.m. Okay. The second one, which is 2 p.m. La Posh Restaurant pre-performance party. Okay, so um, so then you say, can you get me a taxi to La Posh Restaurant for the pre-performance party at 2 p.m.? Okay, or you could say, is it true that there is a pre-performance party at 2 p.m. at the Posh Restaurant? Okay, you can make them up. It's up to you. Okay, we don't have all the information, so you can make up whatever you want. Okay. Okay, we've looked at the first one, and now we've looked at this one, page 51. Uh, you can do this one on Zoom with your friends. Okay, you can do this one with your friends on Zoom. Right, so We have open-ended questions. Open-ended questions may require multiple pieces of information to be summarized. We can organize our response with an ordered list. First, then, after that, next, finally. We can then include any relevant details to complete the summary. So, for instance, we have some examples. Okay, there is here a list, a schedule for or an agenda for a meeting on the 18th of December, and on the next slide we can see some examples of how first, then, after that, next, and finally are used. Okay, so A, I'm going to be at the meeting on December the 18th, but I can only stay until 5 p.m. Could you please tell me what I'm going to miss out on? And then the response is, sure. First, at 5:30 there will be a refreshment break. Then, at 6 p.m. there will be a presentation called Always Be Closing. This will be given by Arthur Gray, who is the salesperson of the year. Lastly, at 6:25 there will be a question and answer session. Okay, so first at 5:30, then 6 p.m. And then lastly. Okay, so only 3 things that are happening. Okay, so you have to make sure that you use the right order. And then B, I'd like to verify the names of the presenters for our newspaper advertisement. Can you check this information for me? Oh, and I'll need the names of the presentations too. And their answer is certainly. First, Liz Halbreach, who is head of the sales department, will be presenting Increasing Sales at 3:45. This will be followed by Enrico Nash, an overseas buyer, presenting Current Market Trends at 4:30. Finally, Arthur Gray will be speaking on Always Be Closing at 6 p.m. Arthur is the salesperson of the year. Okay. And then C. Thanks. Now that I have the details for the presentations, could you check the agenda for me for anything else that is happening? Of course. Aside from the presentations, there will be 3 other events at the meeting. First, there is the opening welcome and notifications. That will be given by P. Senior, the company director, at 3 o'clock. Then later, there will be a refreshment break at 5:30. Finally, there is a question and answer session that lasts from 6:25 to 6:40. Okay, so if you go on to page 53, you will see some questions for you to fill in. Okay, so which expressions were used to address the style of the question? Which words were used to organize informal into an ordered list? And what information was added as detail, i.e., what information was not specifically asked for? So look at the questions, check what information was asked for, and then write the information that wasn't asked for. Okay, next slide. And I think that, okay, so ask your partner, this is for Zoom, is this? Ask your partner the following questions. Check that they use the proper expressions and include all relevant information in their answer. So it says, do you know which interviews Tony will be giving during April? So if we look, 2nd of April is Tony, 12th of April is Tony, and 19th of April is Tony. Okay, so we can say on the 2nd of April, Tony will be interviewing Mr. J. Riley at 1:50 p.m. for the position of accountant. There you go. Or you can say Tony will be interviewing Mrs. S. Borho on the 12th of April at 1:50 p.m. for the position of manager. Okay, so as long as it makes sense when you say it. Okay. Or you can even say Tony will be interviewing Mr. M. Weinrich at 1:50 p.m. on the 19th of April for the position of manager. Or you can even say Tony will interview for the position of manager. He will interview Mr. M. Weinrich at 1:50 p.m. 19th of April. But that would be more like 2 sentences rather than 1 sentence. Okay, so as long as you get the information in, yes, in the correct order is important, but not as important as getting all the information in. So if you have to make a decision between get all the correct information in, but maybe mix it up a bit, or give it in the right order, but miss some information, make sure you give all the information, because you can confirm it with the person that you're speaking to. Okay, let's go to the next one. I'm pretty sure that that's it. So, where's my mouse? Oh, right. So that's the end of Unit 4, and we are going to go on to Unit 5. Goodbye. Thank you for listening, and I hope you're having a great weekend, and I hope that I will see you soon. Bye-bye.